Akin lọ́ba ẹyẹ.
One day.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us on Global News coming to you live from the studios of Yesma Radio. In the headlines, ex-speaker Dogara confirms exit from PDP, gives reasons. And still checking out some of the headlines, Akpabio names lawmakers on NDDC contract lists. COVID-19, federal government education commissioners meet over WASC, NECO, others. Oba Palace attack. APC slams PDP, alleges plot to abduct party leaders. And on the foreign scene, Sudan to send more troops to Darfur as deadly attacks continue. In the world of sports, CAF hails Egbo as Tirona's historic feat. Now the news in detail. My name is Olatunde Edo. President Muhammadu Buhari is at a virtual meeting of the extraordinary session of the Authority of ECOWAS Heads of State and Government. The main agenda for this virtual meeting is the political situation in Mali. In attendance alongside the President is the Secretary General of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, the National Security Advisor, Munguno, the Chief of Staff to the President, Ibrahim Gambari, as well as former President Goodluck Jonathan. West African heads of state in attendance include George Weah of Liberia, Nana Akufo-Addo of Ghana, and President Keita of Mali. Also present is the ECOWAS Commission President Jean-Claude Casey Bro. The media was excused as the closed-door session got underway. We'll bring you full report in our subsequent bulletin. The immediate past Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Yakubu Dogara, has explained why he left the People's Democratic Party PDP and returned to the All Progressive Congress APC. He gave the explanation in his letter of resignation dated July 24, 2020, and addressed to the Bogoro C Ward Chairman of the PDP in Bauchi, his home state. Dogara revealed that one of the reasons for his exit from the PDP was what he described as the breakdown of governance in the state. He decried that such was happening under the administration of Governor Bala Muhammad, whom he helped install as a governor in the 2019 general election. The former speaker also raised concerns and questions on the issues relating to the alleged failure of governance in Bauchi. He, however, stressed that he cannot successfully ask questions about those issues without being accused of disloyalty if he were to remain in the PDP. Dogara noted that he had taken up the responsibility of telling the truth to power in Bauchi under the administration of former governors Issa Yuguda and Muhammad Abubakar. He believes abdicating the same duty under the present administration will make him become the most irresponsible and unprincipled politician in the state. The former speaker announced his return to the ABC about a year and 6 months after he joined the PDP for reasons he did not disclose as of that time. Although he succeeded in his bid to return to the National Assembly, he was replaced by former leader of the House, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, as the Speaker of the Ninth Assembly. The incident at the palace of the Oba of Benin in Edo State has continued to generate mixed reactions from the All Progressive Congress APC and the People's Democratic Party PDP. While the PDP accused the opposition party in the state of sponsoring the attack on its leaders who were at the palace to visit the traditional ruler, the APC insisted that the ruling party in Edo State should be held responsible. Honorable Patrick Obiagbahom, who is the Vice Chairman of the Media and Communication Committee for the APC National Campaign Council in Edo, spoke on behalf of the party. Addressing reporters yesterday in Benin City, the state capital, he explained that some members of the APC were holding a peaceful protest on Saturday before the incident. The campaign council spokesman also claimed that his party has uncovered a plot of state government to arrest an of the election 19th. He therefore asked the law enforcement agencies to investigate the attack on APC leaders and supporters in order to ensure a violence-free election in the state. At an end to the controversy between the federal government and state over the reopening webinar meeting convened by the Ministration and the Federal Capital Territory, a tear's invitation letter to selected participants signed by the Director of Press in the Federal Ministry of Education in schools which have been shut amid COVID-19 pandemic, conducted by the West African Nigeria, may be forced to sit for the General Certificate examination. Its WASC scheduled to commence on August. The Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Godswill Akpabio, has linked some members of the National Assembly to some contract awarded by the Niger Delta Development Commission. Akpabio, however, did not state if the lawmakers were directly awarded the contract or they nominated the projects under their zonal intervention project, as known as constituency projects. The former chairman, House of Representatives Committee on the NDDC, Nicholas Mutu, who represents the Bomadi Patani Federal Constituency of Delta State, is among those linked by the minister with contract. The minister listed Mutu's name against 74 projects, including various emergency road projects in Delta, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, and River State. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission had on February the 3rd, 2020, arraigned Mutu before Justice Folashade Giwa Ogumbanjo of the Federal High Court in Abuja for allegedly abuse of office and fraud involving about 320 million naira. Akpabio also linked the chairman of the Senate Committee on Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Peter Nwaboshi, from Delta North with 53 projects which included emergency repairs of Aswe Road, Owa Phase 2, Idumogbe Road via Ojemaye, Otolokpo College Road, Otolokpo, and the police issue Ani Uku Road, Isele Uku. Other lawmakers that Akpabio listed projects against are Senator Matthew Ohiegede from Edo South with 6 projects, James Manager, Delta South with 6 projects, Samuel Anyanwu from Imo West with from the 8th Senate 19 projects, and others simply identified as Ondo and Edo reps. The minister, however, did not provide the cost of the projects listed against the lawmakers' names, while the cost of contracts given to non-lawmakers had cost of various projects attached to them. Our correspondent also observed that contracts listed against the names of the lawmakers were not up to 60% of the 266 on the list provided by Akpabio. Suspended acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, has denied media report that the commission under him misappropriated the sum of 329 billion naira recovered from the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC). Magu denied what he termed misleading and fallacious media reports in a statement by his lawyer Wahab Shitu, which was made available to newsmen. According to the statement, well over 329 billion naira recovered by EFCC under Magu was remitted directly into NNPC dedicated accounts via remitter under a special arrangement endorsed by NNPC, EFCC, and the affected indebted marketers. By the virtue of the special arrangement, NNPC had requested formally for the EFCC to recover the said amount from the affected NNPC's marketers, who were expected to pay such funds directly to NNPC, while NNPC in turn confirmed receipt of such payments to EFCC. Therefore, EFCC never took custody of any of the recovered funds, and so the question of misappropriation of such funds by the EFCC or our client could not have arisen as falsely published. The lawyer said the fact could be independently verified at both NNPC and EFCC records. Chairman House of Representatives Committee on Diaspora Affairs, Tolu Akande Shadipe, has disclosed that 80,000 Nigerian victims of trafficking were currently held as sex slaves in forced labor across the world. According to her, the practice is rife in Lebanon, Mali, and across the Middle East. Akande Shadipe, who blamed the Minister of Foreign Affairs as well as Labor and Employment for the situation, said young Nigerian girls were subjected to modern-day slavery, sexual exploitation, and organ harvesting, amongst others. You're still listening to the global news from Yesma Radio. On the foreign scene, the Sudanese government is sending more troops to the restive Darfur region following a spike in violence there. Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok said the forces will protect people during the famine season. Unidentified gunmen killed more than 60 people in the region on Saturday and another 20 the day before, the UN said. Hundreds of thousands of people have died in fighting between government forces and rebels since 2003. Millions have been forced from their homes. In the last surge, several villages were burned and markets and shops looted, said the UN Office for the Coordination of Human Affairs. The escalation of violence in different parts of Darfur region is leading to increased displacement, compromise and agricultural season, causing loss of lives and livelihoods and driving growing humanitarian needs, it said in a statement. No group has so far said it carried out the attacks. Lastly, in the world of sport, the Confederation of African Football has hailed former Super Eagles goalkeeper Ndubuisi Egbo after he guided Albania's KF Tirana to the league title in their centenary year. CAF on its Twitter commended the 2000 and 2002 Africa Cup of Nations keeper for the work he did with the Albanian club, stating that he made history as one of the few African managers who made their mark in European football. And that will be all on global news. But before I go, let me bring you a recap of the stories I brought to you earlier. In the news, I've told you that ex-speaker Dogara confirms exit from PDP, gives reasons. Oba Palace attack, APC slams PDP, alleges plot to abduct party leaders. COVID-19, federal government education commissioners meet over WASC, NECO, others. Akpabio names lawmakers on NDDC contract list, and on the foreign scene, we told you that Sudan to send more troops to Darfur after deadly attacks. And in the world of sport, CAF hails Egbo over Tirana's historic feat. The news was produced and edited by Bankebe Luarilewo and delivered by Olatunde Ido. The Yoruba version of Global News comes up immediately. You can join us by 6 p.m. for our comprehensive news package. On behalf of the entire transmission team, it's a good afternoon to you out there.
Feel the vibes.
When your music rocks and your station rocks.